Dad had her moved up to Wilmington and that, and being up there and my deal and my friends, I didn't really communicate with Grandma. After being there, right there, next door, I didn't really communicate with her that much. You know, it was sad. I enjoyed going down here, coming down here to Decatur. It was just away, being away from up there. I look forward to it.
So when he moved her up to Wilmington, when was that?
80. Well, we still had the shop going. He probably moved her up there maybe after we moved there. Later
78 or 9.
Later 78.
Well, who did she live with? Who did she live with in that time?
Raymond.
Raymond?
Yeah. Raymond.
And
Grandpa
Wilmington
was gone. He went in 76. So, yeah, Raymond. And Raymond was a real test. More pest. He was, well, you know how Bob is, well, that's Raymond. Raymond's a little goofier. Yeah, Raymond. He used to go over across the tracks to the stores, and Raymond had a problem. He had plenty of money, but he had a problem understanding that you just didn't go and take the stuff off the shelf without paying for it. Just
So he got caught stealing.
well, Dad got talked to a few times about it. Raymond got barred from a few places.
And this is when Raymond was.
Basically, they told Dad that you're gonna have to put a leash on your brother.
Even though he was already older at that point.
Oh yeah.
Ray had some problems.
Yeah.
They more or less told Dad to put a leash on him. They didn't have Raymond arrested or nothing. They just found Dad and talked to Dad about it.
And then he'd pay for whatever he took.
Raymond didn't understand that.
Yeah.
He didn't grow up that way. It's just his problem made him that way. He was raised normal. He went to the war and they sent him back home nuts because of what he had to do in the war. He was a radio operator and dispatcher for aircraft in the South Pacific on the islands. And, well, like Bob, heard too much shit. He heard too many of these boys go down, and it just drove nuts. That's what happened to Bob. He was over in Korea, and then what Bob was, he was a forward observer for artillery in Korea. Right up in front. Right in front. He was actually over enemy lines.
Yeah.
And it drove him nuts.
Oh, you're sure.
Just
Bob was strange. He grew up strange, but it drove him nuts, and it drove Raymond nuts. Raymond was more scholastic than all of them.
Where do you know where Raymond was when he was in the war? Where he was stationed?
In the island, South Pacific. Like probably down, let's say around the Solomon Islands, maybe.
Was he by himself?
I really don't know. He was usually then radio operators and all. They normally worked in 2s and 3s. So they took turns at it. You know. But he had to keep track of these people. Yeah. And on the headphones, he's listening to these guys going down in flames, you know, and it drove him nuts. He lost it. And it's what happened to Francis too. Francis was First World War over in the Meuse Ardennes area.
Francis who?
Grandma's brother, Francis.
Marion Camp Jr. Also when.
Jr.
Yep.
And he was over there, and he was in the trench warfare over there, and them guys were stuck in them trenches, man, weeks on end, couldn't get out. And he lost it.
Dad told me when they went to pick up Ray at the train station, he walked away from him, didn't he?
He didn't even know him. Ray didn't even know who he was. They dropped him off like that. And then they fought Grandma for the longest time, saying that, yeah,
Stayed in the VA
she had to
hospital.
prove that Raymond was service connected.
That his illness was service related.
And he was. And so was Francis. Truthfully, yeah, Bob.
Thanks, Jonathan.
How many years did Ray stay at Danville in the VA hospital?
I think Ray went to Danville.
With this insurance, there's no medical exam, no health questions.
Maybe 1947, maybe.
Danville, Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And your benefit will never go down.
because he didn't get home until, probably later in 1946. Because a lot of them guys, they had to keep, they kept on the island
1-800-283-6690 for free information and a free gift.
until, they got caught up with to get home. I don't think he got home until later in 1946. And then I think he wound up in Danville in 47, I think. I think Ray was in Danville like about maybe 14 or 15 years. About that. And then finally they turned him loose to go live with Grandma, and then he got really aggressive. Very aggressive.
What did he do?
He'd get mad at her and attack her.
He'd hit her
Yeah,
in the face?
whatever.
And then what happened?
Well, and that's when Dad finally, moved him up there. Moved him up to Wilmington so he could keep tabs on him.
So who stayed back at 138 Division, East Division,
It stayed empty for
It was empty. It was locked up.
from 1980 until
78 till about 81.
Was it 81 or 2?
Yeah, 81, we came back in the summer of 81.
Yeah, but it was locked up from like 1964 or 5 when they went out to Los Angeles, and they got back. It was locked up for 4 years then, 64 to 68.
I remember we,
But she had
Yeah,
her.
had it painted, we
She
cleaned it up.
had Grandpa's brother Albert. He would come over there and keep tabs on the place.
who was this?
Grandpa's brother Albert Jr.
Albert Lindemood Jr.
He'd come over there and keep tabs.
That was in the 60s or in the 70s.
60s.
And who went to California?
Grandma and Grandpa did settle up. Aunt Meg and Uncle Logan's estate out there.
So they actually moved out there for 4 years to settle the estate?
We went out there. Me and Mark went out there. At the beginning of 1967, we were out there for 3 months.
Do you remember where you were?
Mm-hmm.
What street?
It was Victoria Park Place. It was the only Circle Drive street in Los Angeles County.
The only circles.
one.
Where was it? What part of
Right
LA?
in the center of Los Angeles.
Downtown?
Not downtown. Downtown was back east. We were at north was Pico Boulevard.
So you were north of the Interstate 10.
I'd have to look at a map, but Pico Boulevard ran east and west the whole length of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Came out of downtown and wound up at the ocean. And then south was,
So you were on Pico?
Pico was a block away.
Somewhere
More
on
like a block and a half away. And then the next major street was several blocks away.
Do you remember the North and South Street? What the closest one was?
Yeah, and I don't remember the name of it.
If it was wasn't downtown.
I have a map. I do have a map that I brought back from Los Angeles.
Was it Vermont?
No, I don't recall.
Oh.
No, don't remember.
La Brea?
God damn, what is that south street that runs east? It parallels Pico Boulevard.
The one below Olympic?
Like
Venice?
I think so.
Venice is
Boulevard.
Yeah, Venice. Yeah.
Runs the full length of Los Angeles, from downtown to the ocean.
Was it near Overland?
Don't
Overland north south. You don't
When we go
recall.
back up there, I know where the map is. I'll have to
Yeah.
dig that map back out.
Dad said Logan as a boy ran away from home, didn't he? Was Logan the one that ran away from home when he was young? And
No, Elton.
Oh, it was Elton. Okay, I knew one.
Grandpa's oldest brother, Elton.
What did he do?
He was around her. He was born